There were a lot of unfortunate firsts at the ballpark last night. The highly touted rookie for the Marlins retired 17 straight batters on the way to his first major league win. One Marlin hit his first home run of the season, while another hit the first home run of his career. What it wasn't was the first time the Phillies' offense was shut out. A little later than usual on a Sunday afternoon here in Philadelphia, but Game 4 between the Phillies and the Marlins is upon us as the Phillies wrap up this very brief homestand and look to win a series over Miami. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Chris Wheeler. Wheels did not run in the Broad Street Run. We want to congratulate, though, all of the participants who were part of that this afternoon and this morning. All right, so today we have another rematch. Last night it was Jose Fernandez against Cole Hamels. Today it's Kevin Slowey against Roy Halladay.
That is a good rematch, too, Tom. Those guys pitched a very, very good game in mid-April down in Miami. Low-scoring games, all three of them, and this was another one. Kevin Slowey's a contact-type pitcher. You're going to put the ball in play against him, sinker, slider, changeup type of guy. He throws a lot of strikes. He will get after hitters and challenge them, and he'll try to make you hit the ball on the ground, the way that you see in some of these highlights. The Phillies were not able to do a whole lot with him in that game, and then they won it later for Roy Halladay, who went 8 really strong innings. This turned it around for Roy that afternoon. He had a rough outing last time out, but this game he pitched 8 innings, only gave up 1 run, and Lance Nix would eventually win it with a pinch hit home run in the 9th inning. But he was around the zone. This is a very free swinging team. They're going to go up there and swing early at a pitcher. You really shouldn't run a whole lot of deep counts against them. And in this game, Chase Utley made some really good plays, but they hit a lot of ground balls, and he had an outstanding game and then eventually did win that ball game. Here are the numbers on it. You see Roy went 8 innings. Slowey went 5 1/3. The Phillies did pick up 9 hits, but only the 1 run off him, and he pitched to a no decision where Doc got the win. So you look at it again today, and these teams, you figure the Marlins are not going to score a lot of runs. You just hope the Phillies can score some.
And for Kevin Slowey, he has not won a major league game since 2011. He's 0-10 during that span. All right, Doc will have to deal with a couple of good hitters in this lineup who he didn't see the last time. One of those is Marcell Ozuna, who's been introduced quite loudly to the Phillies this series.
Yeah, he's a good-looking player. We saw him in a couple games on TV before they came here. Thought he looked a lot like Raul Mondesi in his body. And he's only 22 years of age, out of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, one of those free agents. He has done very, very well through their minor league system, and because of the problems that they had with Stanton going down, he's now getting a chance to play, and he has abilities like a lot of Dominican players. I don't know that he has any idea what the strike zone is right now. He just swings. And if you throw him strikes or pitches near the strike zone, he's going to be aggressive and he's going to get after you. And you see what he's been able to do in this series, driving the ball all over the place. It was a matter of time till he hit a major league home run, and he got it last night on that fastball from Cole Hamels. His family was here to see that, and that had to be a real thrill. The thing that we're not showing right there, that's all offense. This kid can really play right field, too. He has a good feel for charging the ball, and he has a strong, accurate arm.
All right, we'll see what Roy Halladay has in store for Marcell Ozuna today. I'm sure there's going to be some change-ups and some curveballs. So it will be Slowey against Halladay. Carlos Ruiz is getting ready for this afternoon's ball game with Doc on the mound. Little preparation, working on blocking some balls, which is so important for a catcher, particularly late in the game. It is Mother's Appreciation Day here at the ballpark. The moms, the females in our audience today, all received that great giveaway. The lineups at first pitch, which include Utley, when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch. A reminder from Budweiser, great times are waiting. Designated driver. By Toyota. The Toyota Time Sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank, where good banking is good citizenship. Is it time you experience good banking? By Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. And by Independence Blue Cross. We are creating a more coordinated healthcare system that is built around you. Independence Blue Cross, changing the game. baseball. An hour later than normal, obviously, because of the Broad Street run. It's Mother's Appreciation Day. Thanks to the good folks at StubHub. Those bags given out to all females 15 and over. Let's take a look at the Marlins starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Pierre, Valleca, Polanco, followed by Ruggiano, Ozuna, and Dobbs. Into the bottom third of Olivo, Echeverria, and Slowey. And we're ready to go. Roy Halladay's first pitch to Juan Pierre is taken outside. We're underway, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Halladay working quickly. And Pierre shows bunt. It's 2-0. Pierre 1 for 7 in the series so far. Overall hitting .217 with no homers and 3 RBIs. And Halladay on the year 2-3 and earned run average 6.75. Averaging about a strikeout per inning. And that's been one of the issues for him are the walks that he's allowed, and he just allows a leadoff walk here in the top of the first.
Well, and here we go with the scouting report. One of the first things we put on there is fastball command and must repeat delivery. And that was something he just had trouble with, was fastball command. He does have great numbers against these guys, and here in Philadelphia, real good numbers too.
Well, you got to keep an eye on Pierre, of course. He stole his 600th bag the other night. Game 1 of the series between the Phillies and the Marlins. Here's Valleca, 5 for 12 on the road for the Marlins in his last 12 at-bats on the road, I should say. And he takes inside. It's 1-0, so that's 5 straight out of the strike zone for Doc. Valleca 250 overall, 1 home run, 9 runs batted in.
Here's his home run last night. This is on a cut fastball. Cole Hamels said that after the game that he kind of left it in the middle of the plate. He felt he hadn't made a bad pitch to Ozuna. That one he thought was not a good pitch, and he paid for it.
And for Valleca, his first home run of the season, his second big league home run. He hit a home run for the Reds a couple years ago.
Almost hit another one last night. Hit a deep fly ball to left center later on in the game.
Runner goes. Pitch is taken for a strike. The throw to second, not in time. And Pierre has stolen his 11th bag of the year.
And number 601 for Juan. Got a pretty good jump there. Spun his wheels a little bit, but stole it easily.
Well, you got to keep an eye on him also at second base.
Yeah, especially if this guy makes an out. Because a lot of times they won't steal third with nobody out unless they just know they can make it.
1-1 pitch on the hands out towards second. Pierre goes to third.
And that's the reason why right there, because they'll almost always give the hitter a chance to get them over. If they don't get them over with the 1 out, then they'll think about stealing. Well, it's time now for our Nissan Keys to this afternoon's game. Beautiful bright sunshine starting a little bit later here today. And the Phillies and the Marlins wrapping up this series with Slowey with no runs scored for him. They really cannot score for this guy and like to keep it that way, even though they have one right now in scoring position. And see if Roy Halladay can shake off what happened to him in Cleveland when they started playing that home run derby against him that night.
3 2/3 against the Indians, 9 hits, 8 runs, 3 home runs. He did say after the game that he wasn't discouraged at all with the way he pitched. He felt like the Indians were a hot team, and it was more a credit to them than anything else. Inside 1-1 of Polanco, who's 3 for 11 in this series.
They're giving up a run up the middle. They are pinched up a little bit at the corners.
Michael Young at third, Ryan Howard at first. Inside 2-1. Halladay threw 8 innings against the Marlins earlier this year on the 14th of April. He allowed a run on 5 hits. He's had success against them, as you saw with his overall numbers and the numbers you just saw here at the ballpark. And he throws a changeup, and it's 2-2. And the home plate umpire, Jeff Kellogg, asked for a new baseball. Toyota Major League scoreboard. The Mets and the Braves were rained out yesterday. Top of the 4th, Braves up 5-2 in today's ball game. Doc wanted that pitch. It was just a little inside, and it's 3-2. Ruggiano on deck. And ball 4. And that's the second walk of the inning. Good play by Ruiz to keep that around the area and keep Pierre over at third. So now first and third with 1 out.
And you figured he wasn't going to give in there behind in the count where he can set up a double play now. If Polanco was going to chase, fine. If he didn't, he was going to walk.
Rich Doobie was very encouraged with Roy Halladay's side session this past week. So they continue to work on some things. They're trying to find Halladay's cutter again, which was such a good pitch over the last few years. And they've tinkered with the grip a little bit to see if it can help Halladay. Here it's more the sinker than anything else that he's having problems with. And he's upstairs with the first pitch to Ruggiano, and it's 1-0.
Still seems strange when you watch him struggle with command, because the first couple years he was here, that was never a problem.
Ruggiano swinging a miss at a curve. It's 1-1.
He probably threw too many strikes in certain games, especially early, because they would attack him early and maybe score some runs or get base runners.
All part of the reason why his earned run average is at 6.75 and the 13 walks in 32 innings. On the inside corner, and it's 1-2.
That one looked like he cut a little bit and came back. The one that he missed on the Polanco that he wanted was also, I think, was a cutter that didn't get there. That one did.
And it hit him, and that'll load the bases up. So 2 walks and a hit batter. That was a cutter that just got away. Now the bases are loaded for Marcell Ozuna. I can't imagine Doc's going to throw Ozuna a fastball, at least to start.
This just gets away from him. Tom said it looked like he was trying to cut that ball, and maybe in the same spot. He got him right in the backside there. I've seen Roy Halladay pitch a long time, and I don't remember seeing the bases loaded like this with 2 walks and a hit batter. Maybe it did happen, but it just seems strange.
Well, 17 pitches, 11 balls, 6 strikes so far here in the first. They'll play for 2 with Ozuna. And the first pitch outside and low. It leaks away from Ruiz, but not far enough to allow Pierre to go.
Here's the home run he hit last night. It was a fastball. It was down the way a little bit, but still, that caught a lot of the plate, and he hit it out. Family's pretty happy.
The numbers for Ozuna: 389, 4 for 11 in the series. And a liner to left field. Dominic Brown is there. It's over his head. It shoots off the top of the wall. 2 runs score. The throw going over to third. It's a 2-run double, and the Marlins take the early lead.
Talk about how they have trouble scoring runs for Slowey. Well, they're taking advantage of Roy Halladay struggling right now. They're going to argue a little bit. Mike Redmond is going to come out and say maybe that was a grand slam home run. It did appear to hit the screen out there, though, and come back.
Either hit the screen or the top of the wall.
Yeah.
It hit something and then shot back. The umpires will discuss it. And if they decide to replay it, I think they'll see the same thing that we saw with the naked eye. That it hit below. Yeah, it hit below, right on top of the wall, then the fence, and then shot over shot up in the air.
You can see it come right off the fence there. So, it's good that they can go take a look at it, but it's a double.
Well, Rich Doobie's going to go out and talk to Roy Halladay. Now he has to wait for the review to take place. There can't be any visits to the mound until after the review takes place. So Eric Cooper, who is the umpire that stays on the field, as Rich Doobie go out toward the foul territory in the first base line.
They got really lucky there that wasn't a grand slam home run, because he had to come in with a 2-0 fastball, it looked like. Here it is. That was a sinker, and it ran right back in the middle of the plate, and this guy just got topspin on it, or that thing would have been deep into the seats. Right off the top of the Modell sign, then off the screen, and then back into play. This will be a quick one for them.
They almost had a play at third, too, with Ruggiano, because he was waiting, obviously. The only one that really read it was Polanco. So the umpires come out, and they'll point to second base, and that's where Ozuna will stay. And that's the right call. And now Rich Doobie will head out to the mound and talk to Roy Halladay. Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief. Eric Cooper's over at first. Paul Schreiber at second. And Chad Fairchild, who made the call, is around at third.
A little bit of a rough start to this one, to say the least. And he's in damage control right now, trying to let this not be a bigger inning.
Well, they need an out. I mean, they have one, but they need to get an out here. And they're probably going to play the infield back with Dobbs up.
Right.
Dobbs, a .237 hitter with a home run and 7 runs batted in. Since leaving the Marlins, he's played a lot of games, obviously, here in Philadelphia, and he's hit .351 in those 14 games. Takes high, 1-0. Swing and a miss. I have to say, the one pitch that really hasn't left Doc, the curveball and the change have not left him. They both still remain above average pitches.
And they're supposed to be surprise pitches. Fastballs are supposed to set up those, and that's what he's struggling with, is fastball, cutters, or sinkers. See, because when you throw changeups and curveballs, hitters are going to take them a lot of times. They see it out of the hand, they take it.
Particularly early in the count.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're behind in the count, or if you're ahead in the count too. So they're not necessarily chase pitches unless you're ahead in the count, or you throw them over for a strike.
Outside, 3-1. And ball 4. So 3 walks and a hit batter in this inning for Doc.
They're going to have to get somebody out.
Yeah, I think the phone's going to ring very soon. Rod Nichols, yep, there's Rich Doobie going to the phone. Even for an optimistic fellow like Doc, this has got to be discouraging. Here's Miguel Olivo now with the bases loaded and 1 out. And Raul Valdez, the long man, is going to start to get his arm ready. Olivo takes a healthy hack at a curveball. It's 0-1.
That's what you throw to this guy all the time. Early in counts, just throw him off speed because he's just going to swing. You see his approach, there is none. Doc is struggling all over the place, and he just comes up and swings. That's the kind of hitter he is.
Well, the starts leading up to the Twins game were very encouraging for Halladay.
Indians.
Oh, sorry, for the Indians game.
Right.
Yes.
They were, sure. And they started with this in the game against this team.
Right. This is the first time in Roy's career that he's walked 3 and hit a batter in an inning. I couldn't imagine he ever did something like that.
That's what I was saying. It seems strange to see him loaded that way.
1-2 pitch. Popped him up. Michael Young into foul territory. They do call the infield fly rule late, and there are 2 outs.
Well, he found a perfect hitter right there to try and get through what he's going through right now, because that guy was swinging the rosin bag. Here you go. I mean, he'll just swing at anything, and that's what. Oh my! That ball was a breaking ball in the middle of the plate, not where he wanted it, and he got the out on it.
During the 2013 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Now Echeverria, 4 for his last 20 with the bases loaded. He takes on the outside corner. It's 0-1.
Another young player is a little bit of a wild swinger.
A little low, 1-1 the count. If he can get out of this inning with just 2 runs crossing the plate,
that'd be a Houdini move.
It would be a Houdini move for a guy that's never needed anything close to mirrors to get out of a situation.
He's in a good spot now. As I say, this is another young player that swings. So now he's ahead of the hitter finally. He can throw something maybe to make him chase and trust Carlos to block it.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count with the bases loaded and the pitch. Inside, 2-2, wrapped around the plate just a tad. First time today he's hit 90 miles an hour.
34 pitches. Yeah, well, the 90, when he gets to the 90 or the 91, they're going to be the sinkers. And the cutters will be the ones that will be a little lower velocity.
Yeah, they've been 86 to 88 so far. But the other sinkers he's thrown have been 88, 89. Out toward right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. It's going to go to the wall. This may clear the bases. 2 runs score. Rounding third, heading for home is Dobbs. They wave him to the plate. The throw not in time. It's a 5-0 first inning for the Marlins.
Wow, the Marlins don't score 5 runs in a game very often, let alone in an inning. I wonder what their biggest inning of the year is. He just made a mistake. I mean, that was a fastball right down the middle again. And drilled that thing to right center field. That was hit right on the nose. Take a look where it's supposed to be. Watch it run right back again. Base clear.
The Marlins have batted around, and Kevin Slowey takes a strike. It's 0-1. Echeverria with his 3rd triple of the season. And the 0-2 pitch to Slowey. Swing and a miss. He got him, and the inning finally comes to a close. But the Marlins scored 5 runs in the inning on just 2 hits, 3 walks, and a hit batter. It took 38 pitches for Doc to get through the first. We go to the bottom of the first. It's the Marlins 5 and the Phillies coming up. Try to get out of this big hole. They're down by 5 against right-hander Kevin Slowey. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. It's Galvis, Young, and Utley. Then Ryan Howard, Delman Young, and Dominic Brown. And the bottom third of Carlos Ruiz, Ben Revere, and Doc. And they'll face 29-year-old right-hander Kevin Slowey, who said as a young pitcher, one of his big idols was Roy Halladay. He comes in 0-2 with a 2.15 earned run average, making his 7th start of the season.
And we mentioned that he is among the leaders in Major League Baseball with the fewest runs scored for him. Here's our scouting report on him. He's a sinker slider kind of guy, also throw curve and changeup. A contact pitcher who's not going to strike many out, and tries not to walk many because you can get hits off him. The Phillies really hit him hard in the game here a few years ago when he was with Minnesota. But for him to have 5 runs before he even goes out there, he has to. You got to be kidding me.
Well, his last 10 starts. This is dating back to his previous major league seasons. The last 10 starts, he's received on average 1.76 runs per game, less than 2 runs per game.
They don't get many for him.
But Galvis leads it off for the Phillies. He takes outside. It's 1-0.
And that goes back to his time with the Twins that you're giving.
His 2.15 earned run average is the lowest in the big leagues without a win. And he's received 4 runs of support during that span of time. Well, today he's got 5.
2 bases loaded hits for the Marlins in the first inning for a 5 spot.
1-2 the count to Galvis. It'll be Galvis, Michael Young, Chase Utley.
That is such a punch in the gut for a team to have that happen to them that way for the Phillies, and you have to somehow just let's go and start chipping away. Don't get it all back at once.
Galvis sends one out towards center field. Ruggiano looked like he misplayed it initially. And he's able to track it down for the first out. Bring Michael Young to the plate. Young is 2 for 8 in the series so far against the Marlins. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Kathy McShane of Philadelphia. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Then Kathy will win $200. 1-1 the count to Young. Michael's 2 for 9 lifetime against Slowey. And a liner out toward right center field. Ozuna tries to make a sliding attempt and just knocks it down.
He should have caught that.
They scored a base hit.
He had a lot of leather on that. Ball was slicing right back towards him too. He's there. Easy play. Not easy play, but you see where it hit. Right off the heel of the glove. Slides forward. Definitely should have been caught, but scored a base hit. That's correct. But right there, he almost overran it with that slide. That's what we're talking about, these guys that slide a lot in the outfield for balls. You can do that very easily and slide right by him.
Well, the Phillies will take it down by 5. Chase Utley's the hitter. Utley 1 for 11 in the series. Oh, and 1 the count. Last time the Marlins scored 5 runs in the first inning of a game was a year ago. May 4th, 2012. A year ago and 1 day. Utley takes on the outside corner 0-2.
Well, yeah, they're a team that really has a lot of problems scoring runs, obviously. They won their game last night by a shutout and scoring 2. In that series, when the Phillies played them, they hardly scored any runs. But, you know, they took advantage of Roy Halladay just being all over the place in that first inning with 2 big hits.
That's a squibber to the left of the mound. Slowey off the hill. Throws high, but Dobbs hangs onto the bag. Yeah, there are 2 outs. Speaking of scoring, let's take a look at our Mazda leaders. And the Marlins haven't scored a whole lot of runs, partly because of their National League low 224 batting average. The Nationals, even though they're up by 2 over the Pirates today and they're in second place, a game over 500, are hitting 228 as a team.
Well, they pitch pretty well.
They do.
That's the reason why they're able to be right around 500 the way they are.
Well, now with 2 outs and a runner at second. Ryan Howard is up. Howard with 13 runs batted in his last 20 games.
Wind's blowing a little bit towards left today. They're not overshifting completely on Ryan Howard. They're leaving the shortstop Echevarria behind the bag almost, and then you see here's the pull defense they have. All kinds of room just to the right of second base.
Ryan pulls it on one hop to Dobbs, and the Phillies leave one in scoring position here in the bottom of the first. No runs, one hit, one man left. We've played one. We go to the second. The Marlins lead it 5-0. Questions answered. It's Tips from a Pet Owner, your one-stop shop for keeping your furry friend as happy and healthy as possible. Only on Eye Opener Monday morning starting at 6 on PHL 17. So Wheels, you'll have to set your alarm for 3 a.m. out in San Francisco if you want to watch that.
I need that thing you have. What do you call
Sling
it?
box.
Yeah, right, to do that.
It's very, very good to have.
So you handle that for me.
Yeah. Juan Pierre leads it off as he did in the first inning, and he takes on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Doc came out in between innings and had a word with the home plate umpire, Jeff Kellogg. Not sure what that word was. I know there were a couple of close pitches that he wanted in the first. Here's the conversation that he had as he was walking out. May have just been asking a question about location on a couple pitches.
Did you guys get stuck in traffic today?
And a bunt foul. Unfortunately, there was a terrible accident earlier today that caused a number of folks to be delayed in their travels, and I hope everybody that was involved in the accident is okay. Two and two the count. Doc in the first inning allowed 2 hits, both extra base hits with the bases loaded, but he walked 3 and hit a batter. Swing and a miss, and he gets a strikeout. Second strikeout. One gone here in the second. Valleca's coming up. Live now at Phillies.com. You can bid on several great items, including a private fielding clinic with Jimmy Rollins, a round of golf for 3 with Hall of Famers Mike Schmidt and Steve Carlton, plus a baseball set autographed by 20 members of the 500 Home Run Club. The fantastic auction benefits Phillies charities. Check it out now. It was announced and unveiled on W.B. Mason's Behind the Pinstripes a little while ago by Scott Palmer. He had a variety of guests, including Sarge in L.A., and Charlie Manuel, Michael Young, Ryan Howard. The Bull was one of his guests, and there are some great items, and again, all will benefit Phillies charities. So if you go on now for the next 11 days, those are just some of the items, those 3 right there, that you can bid on. 0-2 the count to Valleca. And a swing and a miss. He got him with a high fastball. 3 straight strikeouts for Halladay. Well, there are 2 outs. All right, Wheels, what's different?
Well, they're not swinging at strikes in this inning. They were a little more patient in the first inning, I think. I don't know. He's throwing a lot of off-speed pitches in this inning.
Polanco takes on the outside corner.
Got a cutter over there.
Polanco walked his first time up. And a liner to center field. Revere on the run, and a 1-2-3 inning for Roy Halladay. 2 strikeouts and a fly out to center. Halladay threw 38 pitches in the first. He throws 10 pitches here in the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Delman Young will lead it off. Will receive that great cap right there to your left. It's Teva Respiratory Asthma Awareness Night, that first night. Then Wednesday the 15th is a Citizens Bank Business Person Special and a Model Sporting Goods Senior Stroll the Bases. Make your plans now. Purchase your tickets at Phillies.com. And maybe stop by Bull's Barbecue. Get yourself a turkey leg, maybe a sandwich.
Tommy Hutton, a longtime Philly, of course, and broadcaster now for the Marlins, made a visit to Bulls the other night, came back up here. It could barely carry everything.
A grounded foul, and it's 0-1 to Delman Young.
Greg took real good care of him.
Well, he should. They were teammates.
Absolutely. Several years.
If Tommy had a restaurant, he'd take care of him. Well, I don't know. Maybe he would.
Sure.
Delman Young pops it up. Foul territory. Greg Dobbs over toward the railing. 1 away. That'll bring Dominic Brown to the plate. Greg Dobbs almost fell in Murph's lap. Murph, get out of the way okay on that one?
I would have caught Greg. That would have been all right. Hey, you know, guys, if the Phils are going to win this series, this 4-game series against the Marlins, are obviously going to have to do it in comeback fashion. But if they do, if they come back and win this series, it would be a 3-1 win. And it would be the first time in almost a year that they've won a 4-game series. You see, the last one was against the Cardinals just about a year ago, back on May 24th through the 27th. Then you take a look. They have certainly not fared well in 4-game series, including the loss to the Pirates this year. So they're going to have to do it in comeback fashion, as I said. But they have a chance to win a 4-game series, and that's certainly what they're pushing for today, guys.
Yeah, the 4-game series set up because of the 2-game series against the Indians that they had earlier this week. It's hard to sweep a 4-game series, but a few years ago the Phils, they were almost automatic when they were winning these 4-game series, taking 3 of 4.
3 of 4, yeah, especially. 4 is, as you say, even then it's hard to do. But 3 out of 4, yeah, that was their MO.
1-1 pitch to Dominic Brown, late on a fastball. It's 1-2. Dominic is 4 for 10 in the series with a couple home runs, 3 RBIs. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. swing and a miss, and there are 2 outs. First strikeout for Slowey. You know, the other day when we were in Cleveland, the Phillies were getting beat up by the Indians, one home run after another. We had a great crowd, Mike, and it might have been because of the light crowd that was there. Well, you could hear the hitting coaches and the players. They were positive throughout the game. And Murph, it seems like that positive attitude's even carried over to today, despite being down 5-0.
Well, no doubt about it. I mean, certainly, you know, you play 9 innings for a reason, and I was sitting in the dugout after that first half inning when the Phils went down 5-0, and almost to a man coming into that dugout. They were all very positive and, you know, trying to pick each other up, saying it was a long game and just chip away and start right here. Ryan Howard, who is always a very vocal guy, very much a leader in that clubhouse, was saying, you know what, this is when it gets fun, guys. This is when we have to start to show what we're made of. And so that's the attitude right now down here in the Phillies dugout.
All right, well, they do have a lot of time. Now, there are 2 outs here in the second. Ruiz is up, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Slowey working quickly. Well, he'll be around the strike zone.
Oh, yeah, he works quickly, throws a lot of strikes. He makes you hit the ball and trusts his defense. Not a strikeout pitcher. Probably a few more walks this year than he'd like to have.
And a called strike 3. Ruiz down looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Slowey. He does it quickly. We go to the 3rd with the Phillies trailing it by 5. Question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, Marlins hitting coach Tino Martinez took the place of what player when he became a Yankee? Yeah, the answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. We go to the top of the 3rd. Roy Halladay is hoping for the same quick inning that he had in the top of the 2nd. The first inning took 17 minutes and 38 pitches. Second inning took 2 minutes and 50 seconds and only 10 pitches.
And these guys we talked about are such an aggressive hitting team, but Doc was missing by a lot in that first inning, and other than Olivo, they were taking a lot of pitches and they made a lot out of it. He found Olivo when he needed him, but then he couldn't get that 3rd out.
0-2 the count to Ruggiano. Ruggiano was hit by a pitch back in the 1st. He scored a run, and he's hit by a pitch again. I think he may have thrown the same pitch, and he just didn't get it to cut back.
See Roy Halladay's reaction there, like, what was that? He hit a guy, 2 guys, the same guy twice with the same pitch. Now here's the first one. This is a cutter that didn't cut, except where it hit him, and this one hurts a little bit more because of the body part that it hits. Bam, right off the upper, like the tricep area above the elbow.
Marcell Ozuna had a 2-run double his first time up, as they try to keep Ruggiano close.
He got behind Ozuna and he hurt him, and he got even with Echeverria, and he hit the triple or the double that cleared the bases.
Curveball, that's in for a strike. It's 0-1. Outside, or inside, I should say. I was going to say outside the backside.
It went behind him.
Yeah.
I think that went behind him.
It did go behind him.
I don't know how it missed him. Watch this. Yeah, it's behind him. Carlos Ruiz makes an amazing play by catching that.
Incredible catch. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Well, he's just setting him up for that changeup, Liz.
Right. That's the way you do it.
Throw it inside and throw it outside. Runner goes. Pitch is taken low. The throw to second is not in time.
That was even more remarkable play there that he short hopped that. It was a breaking ball in the dirt. Carlos short hopped it and still almost threw him out.
And it's 3-2 to Ozuna. 4 3-ball counts. I don't know if you can hear the crowd mic earlier in this inning, but there was a fan who yelled out, "Hang in there, Roy." And I think that's, you know, what a lot of fans are hoping, because they want the greatness that was here for the first couple of years to resurrect itself. Here's ball 4. Halladay thought it was on the outside part of the plate.
You have to get Valdez going again. He is.
I mean, this was the game's, at least the National League's, best pitcher. And the American League's best pitcher for a lot of the years he was with Toronto, who all of a sudden has lost his way. People ask all the time, can he get it back? And if you know Doc, and we've watched him over these last couple of years, nobody works harder. You say, yes, he can. But to what level? I'm not sure if anybody knows. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Greg Dobbs, who walked and scored his first time up, and he lines one into right field, a base hit. Ruggiano will hold up at third. He was delayed because he wasn't sure if it would be caught. And the bases are loaded with nobody out.
For the third time.
For the third time. I would have to think Charlie's going to have to go get him. And maybe he'll give him a levo again, because he got him so easily the last time.
Yeah, Levo's dangerous. You know, he just swings, and if you hit his bat, look out.
He's their guy. There's no doubt about that. And they'll give him a little more rope than most people. Olivo popped out to third in foul territory, and he takes one in the dirt. It's 1-0.
That's a changeup, it looked like, and you know, that was a ball out of his hand even for this guy. He will swing.
The last 2 starts, 13 earned runs and 12 hits, 6 walks, 2 hit batters. His ERA is just under 8 right now as this pitch is coming into Olivo. Got him.
That's the guy to find.
4 strikeouts for Halladay.
Threw him 1 strike on that at bat. Well, here we go again with Echeverria. He's a big hitter in this inning. You get him out, then you have the pitcher with 2 outs. Last time he was up, there were 2 outs.
Ruggiano's over at third. Ozuna's at second. And Dobbs at first. With one man down, the Phillies a double play depth. Out toward right field. That's pretty well hit. Going back on it is Delman Young. It is gone. Just over the small fence. A grand slam. It's 9-0. Oh no, they're going to say it's in play. A one hopper to the plate, so 2-run score. I would think Mike Redmond's going to argue this one, and it's going to be called a home run.
That would look more like a home run.
It looked like it hit the cement beyond the fence and came back. Now Eric Cooper waited, put his hand up, and then I guess signaled safe. Yeah, so they're going to review it. I think that's going to be a home run.
That looked like one.
I didn't mean to jump the call there on the umpire, but just with the naked eye, we've seen that kind of ball hit before, and
here it is. It hit the seat that we're being told, and then it definitely was over the fence. It looked like it.
Yeah, it hits the seat.
That's
boom,
a home.
Boom.
That's 7 RBIs for that guy.
How it came back, like it hit the seat, bounced on the cement, and then somehow shot back over. And Delman Young initially didn't play it because he saw it went over the fence.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, that's going to be a grand slam for Echeverria. 7 RBIs.
7 RBIs in 2 at bats. That's the second guy this year to get 7 R. Who else? Someone else had just had that against the Phillies, right?
Yeah.
7 runs batted in. Because it.
Well, this is going to be as quick as the other review. At least I would think, because they have the same replays that we have.
Here it is, just out over the plate, and that's where he hit it last time. And now they say it's a home run as the umpires come back out.
So Jeff Kellogg signaled home run. It's a grand slam the opposite way. 9-0 Marlins on top. 7 runs batted in for Echeverria. He's having a month and a day. And here comes Charlie Magno on. That's going to be it for Roy Halladay. To watch this, because he, as we said, was so great, it's just odd. So Charlie takes the baseball from Roy Halladay. Some boos and a mixture of claps. Here comes Raul Valdez. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen. Very early here at Citizens Bank Park, with the Phillies trailing at 9-0. One man down, and our Subway in-game winning box score. Look at Echeverria, 7 RBIs. Second time this year that somebody's had 7 RBIs against the Phillies. Billy Butler for the Royals did earlier this season. So Raul Valdez is in the ball game, and he throws a strike to Kevin Slowey.
And that included a grand slam home run in that Sunday game that It was also reviewed.
That's right. Echeverria's 7 RBIs ties a team record. It's the 4th time somebody did it. And there are 2 outs here in the 3rd as Valdez makes that play. Here's Dobbs talking to Echeverria about that ball.
Well, what a day he's had.
Well, he could be done for the rest of the month.
With the way they score.
Well, yeah.
What's Kevin Slowey thinking right now?
He's thinking that something's going to happen. There has to be something that happens.
Some of these.
Can I take them and put them in the other games that I pitched well in?
These guys have 9 runs on 4 hits.
Well, it's those bases loaded hits.
Well, they had a bases loaded double, a bases loaded that scored 2, a bases loaded double that scored 3, and a slam.
Triple.
And triple, yeah.
Pierre lines one over the head of Galvis for a base hit.
That's right. That was a triple. I wrote down that was a double.
So a base hit for Pierre. Valleca's the batter. He's 0 for 2. And a strike to him. It's 0-1.
4 walks and 2 head batters all scored.
Yeah. Yeah, Echeverria, who reached on the triple, did not score. And Pierre, who just singled, is on base. Everybody else that's been on has scored. Valleca hits one at deep center field. Revere's out there, and he makes the one-headed grab. And the side is retired. 8 men come to the plate here in the 3rd. The Marlins scored 4 runs on a grand slam by Echeverria. It's 9-0 Marlins as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Chevrolet. Visit your local dealer at ChevyDealer.com. By Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. By WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And by Honda. Visit your Honda dealer today for great deals. Only a Honda is a Honda. Bottom of the 3rd, 9-0 Marlins on top. And Ben Revere up for the first time. Marlins have already batted around twice. And the Phillies are still finishing up their first go around in the order against Kevin Slowey. 2-0. Revere 1 for 5 so far in this series. Wheels, I saw Ben Revere hit one out of the yard the other day in BP. I did. You know where he hit it? Right down the line over the Stroman bread sign as he draws a walk. And it went back It had to go back about 10, 11 rows. I mean, he squared it up.
He had a bunch of them like that in spring training. But, you know, the wind might be blowing out and all batting. I used to watch him do that batting.
No wind here. No wind there.
He's probably going to hit a home run sometime, but they'd like him to hit some doubles.
Well, that's true. Here's Valdez. Well, Valdez 1 for 1 so far this year. He squares. There goes Revere. Pitch is bunted in the air. Polanco's going to double up. Wow. Ben Revere. What else can go wrong today?
That's just, oh my. That's just bad. Pops up the bunt. Revere's running on them. I have no idea what happened. I just have to think that's a brain cramp.
Well, if Valdez did get the sacrifice sign, then if you're Revere, you don't go. Although he has the green light to run at any time, you don't go.
No.
Galvis takes it side.
I don't know that you get a sacrifice when it's 9-0.
I agree with that.
So, as I said, I don't know what happened. There's a brain cramp involved somewhere.
Crampage.
I just heard somebody yell, nice call, Charlie. And the odds are there wasn't anything going on there except a brain cramp.
2 outs. 1 ball, no strikes to Galvis. He fly to center his first time up. Up high, 2-0.
Almost like Valdez thought he was opposed to bunt. Revere just figured, well, then let me go. I'm going to run.
Toyota Major League Scoreboard, the Nationals and Pirates, they got a good series going out in Pittsburgh. It's 3-1 Washington. Bottom of the 6th. Danny Espinosa has 3 RBIs. Galvis hits one out toward right center field. Ozuna's not going to get it. It's going to take a 1 hop off the wall. Galvis heads to second. He'll stop there. Well, there's the shame of that play. He'll bring Michael Young to the plate. Young single to right field off the glove of Ozuna his first time up. He's 1 for 1. 1 ball, no strikes the count to Young. Slowey was 0-8 last year with an ERA of 6.67. You combine that with the 0-2 this year. So 0-10 with an ERA of 5.5 in his last 22 appearances. That was his last win.
When he has 9 runs in 2 1/3 innings.
His last win was back on September 27th.
If he doesn't win this one today, he may go a long time without winning a game.
It is true.
Means he'll really give up a bunch of runs.
Young shoots it foul down the right field line and out of play. A reminder for Budweiser, great times are waiting. Designated driver. 2-2 the count to Michael Young. Kevin Slowey's last win was September 27, 2010. Michael Young pops it up. Foul territory. Greg Dobbs, long run. Can he get there? He can, but he dropped it. Galvis will go back to second, and Michael Young will get another chance. They're going to score that an error, I believe, on Dobbs.
And it's a tough play, and you know, he knows he should make it. Went in and out of the glove. Tough error.
He went around, so that's a strikeout to wrap up the third. 3 strikeouts for Slowey. Phillies leave his second runner in scoring position. We've completed 3. On to the fourth. It's 9-0. Marlins on top. Mountain Coffee. K-Cups delivered in all the flavors you love. By who? But W.B. Mason. 3 in the books. We go to the top of the fourth, and a gorgeous day here in Philadelphia. Look at that skyline. It's a great day. There's been some great events going on, not only at the Broad Street Run. The winning runner today finished in 40 minutes.
Wow.
Pretty quick, 10 miles.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. But obviously folks are going throughout the morning into the early afternoon because not everybody starts at the same time,
yeah.
Sarge. In fact, Murph told us how the whole thing works out. You get a chip in your sneaker so you can start in a pack that could be 20 minutes from when the first racer goes.
It's pretty good.
And that's how they gauge when you left the starting line. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it is good.
So you can't lose that chip.
Well, I'd be one of the spectators, to be quite honest.
1-1 the count to Polanco as we begin the fourth. Well, it's turned out to be a gorgeous day. As we said, game time moved to 2:35 because of the Broad Street Run. And hasn't gone as the way the Phillies would have liked these first few innings. They're down 9-0 already. And Polanco's already up for the third time here in the fourth. So that's how you can tell that things aren't going well.
Yeah, you almost got to kind of really laugh a little bit about that. Other than that,
just a little.
start off crying the way things have been going, but again, only counts as one game. A lot more game to go.
Well, a lot more game to go. I guess everybody will be waiting to see what Doc says after the game about his outing. Because,
well,
I mean, numbers will tell a lot of the story, but he's always pretty honest with his assessment, usually, with his assessment.
Well, my take on it, too, though, I mean, not getting here and able to go to his regular routine, and pitchers have their own routines that they go through. Not making any excuses for him. But, again, with all the traffic and so on, and you're trying to get here, you're getting here at a time, you're rushing. I mean, when's the last time you've seen him miss the target by that far, throwing behind somebody's back? So, again, he was, here in time to be able to warm up. I mean, in time for that. But usually you like to be here when 3 hours maybe before the game. I don't know if that was the case here today with all the traffic. Now, again, when you go out there to pitch, you're supposed to be warmed up and you have your stuff from your curveball working and fastball, but obviously the control just was not there at all.
That was it. Whether you're tardy or not because of the traffic, his command just wasn't there today.
Yeah, I mean, even the umpires getting here a little bit late today had a lot to do with the traffic. But again, no excuses when you're a major league player. You have things that you have to go out there and do under any circumstances. But again, it's just wasn't his day, the way the balls are flying out of the ballpark. This kid here is going to be a star.
He's already scored 2 runs today. He takes the first pitch outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. So Zuna doubled off the wall his first time up, drove in 2, and then walked and scored his last time. Takes outside. It's 2-0 to him.
I mean, when you look at him hit, he's just so quiet. Not a lot of movement up here, but the first time around, more so his game, and after that, pitchers they'll come up with their own little game plan, like off-speed pitch when you're down 2 balls and no strikes. Those are some of the things he'll have to learn to be even a better hitter.
Mike Redmond's team has scored 9 runs in the first 3 innings. He probably hasn't had a game where he can just sit and watch and kind of relax a little bit. Ground ball toward the hole. Michael Young can't get to it. Galvis does. Flips to first. How about that play right there? I mean, he didn't get him, but what an effort and what a reaction.
Well, he's one of the guys out there, win, lose, or draw, is having a lot of fun just because of the way that he's playing, way he's hitting. Sit on the bench, come in, has good at bats. So that tells you how hard he has been working. This particular play, just God-given talent as he gets up, springs up, and look where he throws it. Right on the money.
Well, Dobbs has scored 2 runs. He's up for the 3rd time. He walked his first time up, singled his last time. On the outside corner, it's 0-1. Off the end of the bat, this should do it. Utley stays down on it and throws Dobbs out for the final out. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left here in the 4th. We played 3.5 in Philadelphia. It's the Marlins 9 and the Phillies nothing. refunds. By Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. 9-0. Marlins on top. Bottom of the fourth. Chase Utley's coming up. There were a lot of fans who are probably stuck in the same traffic that some of the players and the umpires were stuck in on their way to the ballpark today. And if they weren't, they didn't get a chance to settle in for the ceremony prior to the ball game. Each and every year, the Phillies, as an organization, bring in one mom to honor before the start of the ball game. The players sort of put their names in a hat and they pull out, who the mom is. And Chase Utley's mom, Terrell, was the guest today. And there's Chase, presented her with some flowers.
Awesome.
Chase's mom and his dad, Dave, did an incredible job raising not only Chase, but also his sister. And it's in honor of Mother's Appreciation Day, which StubHub is a part of in today's ball game. And all women 15 and over received the Chase Utley tote bag when they came to the ballpark today.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty nice.
I saw a couple of moms who received those tote bags today. Asked them, well, what do you think of it? And they said, it's beautiful. And everybody loves Chase, and it's a great giveaway. There it is right there. It's got Chase's the back of Chase's jersey on one side, inside and low, 2-2, and Phillies across the front. The StubHub logo on each side. Out towards center field. Ruggiano on the run. It's slicing away from him. He dives and he made the catch. And there's one away here in the fourth inning.
Well, every time that left-hander hits that ball there and it's slicing like that, it ends up going even a little more. Take a look at this. Ruggiano leaves his feet as he catches the ball, and he catches it a little bit low. Usually it's higher, but he timed that pretty good there. Soft hands and soft landing as he makes a fine play out of it.
Oh, one out. Here's Ryan Howard. He grounded out sharply to first his first time up. That was back in the bottom of the first. So he's 0 for 1. Takes outside. 1 ball and no strikes. He got a good pitch to drive, and he fouled it back toward the upper deck. And it's going to bounce down to the lower level.
And these are the kind of games when you play in, you want to have something to show for. A couple good plays, a couple hits. Again, too, though, you judge character and things are going bad. Certainly they're doing that for the Fighting Phils. But this is when it's time to really get behind them. That's an awful swing. Sorry, just awful.
4 strikeouts for Slowey. And that'll bring Delman Young to the plate. For years, StubHub has been the place to find great Phillies tickets. And this season, you can get more with your tickets thanks to StubHub Fan Rewards. So get to StubHub and grab your seats today. Delman Young takes a strike. And there's the bag. I think he's just holding it for someone. He's holding it for the young lady in front of him. Who said all fans, all females 15 and older received that bag.
He's just probably taking for his sister.
Yeah.
Holding it. Probably have some other goodies in there that he's bought that has to do with the Phillies.
Down and away, 1-2.
Oh, he's hit a lot of breaking pitches so far and coming back. They have been pitching backwards, meaning pitching soft the beginning of the lineup, then coming back with the fastball. See whether or not he'll go on and get the slider here, 2-2.
Well, he does, and he chops it softly to the right of the mound. Slowey underhands, and the Phillies go down quietly in their half of the fourth inning. Slowey has been able to front run nicely with this 9-run lead. We go on to the fifth inning. Miguel Olivo will lead it off against Raul Valdez. On a gorgeous day. Look at how great Center City looks on a day like this. As we roll down the street to Citizens Bank Park, Miguel Olivo takes a strike inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Olivo's 0 for 2. He has popped out to third in foul territory. Struck out. Little dribbler in front of the plate, and Valdez says he's got it. And 1 out, and here comes Echeverria, who's having himself quite a day with 7 runs batted in.
Now, those are the kind of things you don't count on for a guy low in the lineup to do that much damage. Now, take a look at this in the third inning. There's that grand slam, and again, shortstop, one of those young players we've been talking about as they rebuild. And when you take a ball out to right field, that's just good mechanics from a right-handed hitter. They're just getting over there, but a long way to go. Shortstop showing that kind of power.
Yeah, counting his days with the Blue Jays last year. He was up for a cup of coffee last year. And his numbers this season for today, he had 18 RBIs, 18 Major League RBIs. He has 7 in today's ball game.
Unbelievable. Well, be a game that he'll never ever forget.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2.
And these guys, again, they'll have a chance to get a lot better. Learning process when you first come up as a hitter.
Time now for our Coors Cold Hard Fact, and his 7 RBIs today, tied for the most in Marlins franchise history. Cody Ross was the last one to do it. So Echeverria is one of 3. Ross was the last one to do it in 06. Out to shallow center. Here comes Revere. There are 2 outs. Valdez has allowed 2 hits so far in his time out on the mound. He's pitched 2 1/3. Kevin Slowey, not much of a hitter. When you have a 9-0 lead, I don't think he really cares. He's 0 for 10.
Decent ERA, however, coming into that ball game.
One hop to Utley. And a 1-2-3 inning for Raul Valdez. Slowey trotted maybe 10 feet, 12 feet from the batter's box and said, you know what, I've gone far enough. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and the Phils will send Valdez to lead it off. Live now at Phillies.com. It's the Phillies Fantastic Auction. The auction benefits Phillies charities. Check it out now at Phillies.com. Some of the items that are out there: a private hitting clinic with Chase Utley, a romantic on-field dinner for 2 here at Citizens Bank Park, and a game-used autographed baseball thrown by Doc during his 2010 NLDS no-hitter. Great items, and as we said, all benefiting Phillies charities. One of the experiences you can bid on is a chance to cook with Sarge.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one too. Let me tell you, just haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. That should be good.
I know you mentioned a little bit of your ideas of what you were going to do during WB Mason's Behind the Pinstripes. You going to stick with that?
Yeah, I'm going to do really some kind of a really nice salad. We're going to throw some king crab legs in that. I haven't decided on whatever little red meat that I'm going to have.
So the crab legs will be like an appetizer.
Well, I haven't. It's a surprise.
Dominic Brown lifts it to left. Juan Pierre back pedals. One out.
But it will be good though. You know, I mean, at lunchtime you don't want it to really be too heavy.
Well, I think somebody will plan that this is the meal for their day. So now where are you going to be doing the cooking?
Well, I believe here I'll be using one of the
you'll be using the EDR.
kitchens here in the EDR with the Phillies.
That's the executive.
You know what I'm
going to
do is actually go in and try it out. And I got to tell you, I had already told some of my chef friends about that. My regular chef friends. And
right.
I'm getting them in the bidding for that, by the way.
Oh, to be part of it?
That's right. Exactly.
For the warm up or the regular one?
The regular one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not the warm up. The warm up would just be guys like you and Larry. Those kind of people.
Hey, don't waste that on us.
Boy.
2-1 the count to Ruiz.
Still struggling a little bit with his stroke. He'll find it. It's been fast at times, but there's an adjustment coming back. Simply when you get back, those pitchers already are just about in great form from throwing on the corners. Well, not all of them anyway. But
Fly ball to shallow left center field. Ruggiano. Makes the catch for the second out. 2 outs. Ben Revere's coming up here at Citizens Bank Park and a beautiful afternoon for baseball. It's Mother's Appreciation Day here in Philadelphia. Along with Sarge, I'm Tom McCarthy. Murph's here, so is Wheels. Phillies trail at 9-0. Marlins scored 5 in the first, 4 in the third. 9 runs on 6 hits for the Marlins. No runs on 2 hits. Ben Revere walked his first time up. Following today's game, the Phillies will hit the road. They'll go to San Francisco for 3 and then Arizona for 4.
And they will be tested. You know, when you're not playing well, the teams that you go see, they welcome you coming into their ballpark because they feel they can get easy wins. Just the opposite, obviously, when you're playing well. Tough enough to win on that West Coast just because of the travel anyway. But when you're not playing very well or doing things you need to do to win ball games, makes it even doubly tough. They'll have their work cut out for them, and I'm sure they haven't given up hope on this ball game, but you got to get to where you start driving and hitting the ball here consistently.
Second walk for Revere, and Valdez will bat for the second time. He looked back to see if maybe they'd send up a pinch hitter. But they're going to ask him to eat up a lot of innings here today, at least a couple more.
And they're doing that because they don't want to tire out the bullpen before you're going on that West Coast. So one guy usually gets the brunt of the work to try and get those innings done. And it's Valdez here today.
Echeverria, the shortstop, will give way to Juan Pierre. Phillies leave one here in the 5th. No runs, no hits. 1 man left. We've completed 5. Phillies down by 9 as Juan Pierre is set to lead it off for the Marlins. One heck of a stretch. Kyle Kendrick has flown under the radar for some time with big names alongside him in the rotation, and he continues to do so while clicking off wins for the Phils. The 7th-year pitcher has won 10 of his last 15 starts going back to last August, and he is unbeaten in his last 5 outings. KK leads the rotation with a low 2.43 ERA. He is consistently leading his team to success, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross, changing the game. Well, the Mother's Appreciation Day celebration continues. The Fanatic and all of his wonder.
Yeah, what a great song there by the Intruders. I'll always love my mama.
And of course, the big finish, Sarge.
Oh, never gets old. Never gets old.
Oh, we go to the top of the 6th. Juan Pierre takes a little low. 1 ball and no strikes to him. Pierre is 1 for 2. Walk his first time up. And he fouls it back. It's 1-1. Pierre started the 5-run rally in the first. In that inning, Doc walked 3, hit 1 batter. and gave up 2 extra base hits. The double that scored 2 and the triple by Echeverria that scored 3.
And just losing exactly where he's throwing the ball. I mean, you just don't see him throw balls that are behind batters. Usually Doc is somewhere around the plate setting up his pitches like a surgeon kind of, and making sure that by throwing around the plate he's able to get outs by not necessarily throwing strikes.
Michael Young tracks that one down. Friday, May 17th, the Cincinnati Reds will be in town for a 3-game series, 7:05, 4:05, and then 1:35. That Sunday game, it's Wistar Institute Melanoma Awareness Day, presented by Independence Blue Cross and Citizens Bank. And you see that floppy hat that young guy's wearing right there?
Yeah.
Well, all young kids 14 and under will receive that same hat. It's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets.
Nice little summer hat.
That is a good one. Chris Cashman, who's behind the plate, he's not 14. He's the one with the radar gun. He's also wearing it. Chris needs to wear a cap on a sunny day like this for some protection. Inside, 1-1. There's Chris. He is using the radar gun, and the radar that you see here at the ballpark that flashes up, it's his number, and he tells what pitch it is. And he's usually right on mark with what pitch it is.
Yeah, not only with the movement, but you can tell by velocity. But with him sitting right behind the home plate on a split, he can tell whether or not it's tumbling or not. Slide piece, you're going to see that little dot looking like a fastball, and the curveball kind of spins over the top, if you will.
There you go, fastball, pitch speed 89 miles an hour, and if you watch him, and you can watch him when you're watching the games on TV, like he's got the gun up. Now look, real quick, he knows exactly what pitch it is, and it's a fastball, so that one's a little easy.
Yeah.
But
well, when he looks down on his gun and he sees 88, 89, he knows automatically what that pitch is.
And that's another fastball. We also appreciate the fact that Chris models a lot of the giveaways that we have.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Double duty.
Yeah. That takes a hop and hits him. So Valleca will take first. And Polanco will get a chance to bat. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
Seeing where it hits him, man, here. Looks like it hit the ground. Yep. Hit him on the leg, hit the ground first.
Liner for a base hit, so Polanco's aboard. Up to second goes Valleca. And that'll put runners on first and second with one away here in the 6th.
Tell you that Polanco, another one of those guys that can usually hit anywhere in the lineup. He's gotten a lot older now. Still a tough player to strike out.
Giano takes outside. It's 1-0. Hey, Polanco, who's usually around a dozen at-bats, every 12 at-bats to strike him out, is even higher this year. He's nearly 15 at-bats. Every 15 is when a pitcher gets him with a strikeout.
Well, he knows the strike zone, takes pitches. Not a lot of other damage, however, in terms of home runs or RBIs. Not a guy that could consistently hit the ball out of the ballpark. What he does is consistently gets on with a real good team, more suited for probably second in your lineup or eighth or so.
Chad Durman up and throwing in the pen. And as Valdez has thrown 50 pitches. Yeah, we have one out here in the top of the sixth.
Hey, the umps are doing a good job. They're calling that high strike pretty consistently all around baseball. Maybe difficult for the hitters to make that adjustment to swing at that pitch as that ball's inside.
Oh, that'll load them up. Weeknights on PHL 17. It's a full hour of the funniest show on television, The Big Bang Theory. Watch your favorite geeks take on life, love, and of course, video games. It's all on Philly's #1 comedy, The Big Bang Theory. Weeknights at 7 on PHL 17. Marcell Ozuna's the batter. He's got a couple hits. He's 2 for 2.
Went down and talked with him again today. Shook his hand. He's got huge hands.
He's going to think you're stalking him now,
No,
Sarge.
almost like Hank Aaron.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And what a great kid, though. One of those yes, sir, and no, sir type people.
You think when Stanton comes back, they'll ship him back down? He's going to stay, don't you think?
Well, if he's hitting the way he is, he was one of the first guys, however, in camp to be sent down this year.
Lines one the opposite way, a base hit. One run's going to score. They'll hold Polanco, so it's 10-0. Marlins on top, and that's the third RBI and third hit of the day for Ozuna. And we've only seen him for 4 games, but he's given no indication, and pitchers will figure him out.
Yeah.
But he's given no indication that he's not a big league hitter.
Well, for a young kid, he has just a strong base to set up with, and very difficult to have right-handed hitters hit the ball to right field. He's shown that he can do that. Good arm. We've seen him throw the ball into home plate. So, you know, the rest is kind of up to him, how hard he'll actually go out there and work, and hopefully he won't be taking things for granted and stay humble.
Dobbs is 1 for 2. Well, Valdez is starting to miss here, and he's probably tiring. And his pitch count up at 56.
That's what happens usually if your starter's knocked out like that early in the game. They'll ask the relievers to give them more innings than usually what they're accustomed to, although Valdez is suited more so for long relief, so he would get maybe the bulk of the innings to do.
1-2 the count, a foul tip. Well, his longest outing this year pitch-wise has been 59 pitches. That was on the 17th of April against the Reds. So he's at 58 now. The kind of guy that, you know, is able to go deep, but his pitches are starting to get up a little bit.
Yeah, getting up, missing with that breaking ball, always a good sign that pitchers are getting a little tired.
Got him.
Good
So
pitch.
2 outs. Yep. 6 strikeouts today for Phil's pitching. And here comes Charlie Manuel. Miguel Olivo due up, the right-handed batter. And it looks like he's going to bring Durbin into the ball game. So Raul Valdez allows 1 run in relief of Roy Halladay. And now it's up to Chad Durbin to pick things up here in the top of the 6th inning, with the Marlins on top 10-0. Well, it's time now for our Kia Minor League Report and the players of the month. Not only the pitcher of the month, but also the player of the month. Jesse Biddle, the pitcher of the month. Really no surprise there. Biddle 2-1 with a 1.74 ERA, 40 Ks in 31 innings. And then Cesar Hernandez is off to a good start with Lehigh Valley, a 275 hitter. Some good news out of Lehigh Valley is that Darren Ruff has been hitting the ball well, and also, from all reports, playing some pretty good defense out in left field. And that's good for Darren, because you want him to succeed, because I think he can help as the years move on. When? Who knows? Where? Not sure. But he could help because he can hit.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I think before it's all said and done, you'll see a pretty good player regardless of where he is, and Darren Ruff.
Chad Durbin in the game with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Olivo the batter, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Olivo today is 0 for 3. To the count.
Good breaking ball. Looked like Oliva's trying to hit a grand slam coming out of his shoes.
He's got Polanco at third, Ruggiano at second, Ozuna around at first. Cutter outside, 1-2. Nice try. A nice catch by a young fan. I thought he dropped it. He got it. Great job. That was awesome. Watch this. What a crap.
Oh, boy.
Now, it's safe to say that that'll be on the fans' plays of the year. That may be even the leading candidate for the fan play of the year.
That was a nice grab, though.
That sure was. We got to get Murph over to ask him what his name is and get his particulars.
Well, that's why he brought that glove, too, though. You can see that. I mean, wouldn't have been able to catch it without a glove.
The ball may have gotten a piece of Olivo as he took the swing.
It almost looked like it was going to hit him as he was swinging.
Very appreciative of the athletic trainer coming out to take a look at him.
Take a look at this swing, and this is like, oh, should I swing? Or
I did get him. Curveball inside, 2-2. Over his head, 3-2.
Obviously looking for a punch out or an easy out somewhere.
Swing and a miss. He got it. A great job by Durbin. Olivo split his bat right in half. Wasn't happy about that strikeout. They don't make wood the way they used to, Sarge.
They sure don't.
10-0 Marlins as we go to the bottom of the 6th here in Philadelphia. Ford stores. Go further. Buy Citizens Bank, where good banking is good citizenship. Isn't it time you experience good banking? And buy Toyota. The Toyota sales event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. Bottom of the 6th inning. Doing a little dancing in her seat there. Freddie Galvis will lead it off. He's 1 for 2. Phillies have just 2 hits today after offensively putting together a quiet 1 hit last night, or 2 hits last night. No, 1. And it was Freddie Galvis that had that.
Right.
He fouls that one away up toward the Hall of Fame club. And it's 0-2. Out towards shallow left field. Juan Pierre will take care of it. And Galvis is disposed of for the first out. MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At bat delivers Phillies baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Phillies.com for details. Michael Young is 1 for 2 today. And he fouls it off to the right. 0-1 the count.
You got to get to where you can start to mount some kind of attack.
Yeah, the last two nights, as good as the offense was the first 2 days, these last 2 days, it's just not there.
Michael, and he's starting his swing a little bit too soon. Got to be able to look at the ball, even though he's still hitting well over 300.
Back toward the middle. And Valleca backhands. And there are 2 outs as he throws over to first. And the Marlins, who came into this ball game with just 9 wins. Up 10-0 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th.
The other thing is, too, Tom, you just don't like teams coming into your own home and, winning ball games. I mean, even if you're not playing or having a good year, you still should be able to have enough incentive to win at home. Obviously not trying to lose, it's just not getting the job done on consistent, well, all the way around, from defense, obviously offense.
A strike in the knees, it's 0-2.
And all that goes hand in hand with winning. You can get away with it every now and then, but for the most part, you got to be able to get them over, get them in, good defense. And obviously good pitching. Some of these young pitchers, too, they got to really start to hit hard because, again, these young guys will have no fear. Fernandez, one of them, who pitched a whale of a ball game yesterday. Last night's game.
Swing and a miss, and Utley is struck out. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils. 4 in a row retired by Slowe. He hasn't allowed a hit since the 3rd. We'll go to the 7th.
Brought to you by Gwinnett Mercy College and the Cleveland Indians. Potent offense is starting to get even a little bit better. The team announcing today that leadoff hitter Michael Bourne will begin a rehab assignment tomorrow night. He's been out since getting 5 stitches in his hand after being stepped on April 4th. And the Washington Nationals right now have a 6-2 lead over the Pittsburgh Pirates, but they're doing that without Bryce Harper. He was ejected for arguing balls and strikes in the first inning of that game. It is the 2nd time in his career that he has been ejected. And guys, look who I found. I found this young man. This is J.J. Wilson, right? J.J. is from Edders, Pennsylvania, which is just outside of Harrisburg. And I told him we're about to make him famous. You had a pretty good glove there. That was a pretty impressive catch. Tell us how you did it.
I just reached over the edge into the other suite and caught it, I guess.
Yeah, you robbed someone from the other suite. That's how you know. Hold up the ball and show the folks at home how you do. JJ, now you played baseball, so tell me, what positions did you play?
Second base, shortstop, and catcher.
And you obviously had a pretty good glove, but the folks here, they want to know whether or not you can hit. Can you hit too? You got a good bat?
I could sometimes.
All right, we're showing it again. We're going to make JJ famous. You having a good time at the ball game today?
Now I am.
That's what we do. We aim to please. JJ, congratulations and enjoy that baseball. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. JJ's got the whole group there today. Hey, that was a heck of a catch. Everybody goes to the game hoping they can catch a baseball, but to do it at that age wasn't an easy play either.
No, bring your glove too, like that, and brings his glove and reaches out and pulls it away from a guy a little older and bigger. That was a great catch.
Well, the Phillies down 10-0. Slowey is up with one man down.
Figures the shortstop made that play.
Phillies have some changes here. Kevin Franzen on to play second base for Chase Utley. John Mayberry on to play first base.
Yeah, it's always a good idea doing a blowout game, but you don't want it to be this way.
Slowey hits it down the right field line, out of play. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got him. He threw an 88-mile-an-hour fastball by him. 3 straight strikeouts for Phillies pitching. I'm sorry, 3 strikeouts in the last 4 batters for Phillies pitching. And there are 2 outs. And they'll bring Juan Pierre to the plate. Pierre is 1 hit today in 3 official at-bats. Takes outside.
He got the game off to a good start for the Marlins by just standing up there taking a walk to lead off their first of 2 big innings.
Outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Juan had a long conversation with Jimmy Rollins yesterday. I was over by the Marlins dugout. Those 2 guys became pretty good friends last year, as you can imagine. You know, both guys that hit toward the top of the order. Pierre with 601 stolen bases. And he takes a strike. Ground ball toward the right side. That'll sneak into right field, a base hit. And it's 2-out single. That'll bring Valleca to the plate. Well, these lucky fans are today's Citizens 7. They were receiving a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. And some of those ladies will be walking away with 2 bags today.
Yeah, but JJ has the baseball.
But JJ has the baseball.
And as Murph said, he is now famous.
He is famous in the Harrisburg area and beyond. I would expect he'll sign some autographs tomorrow at school.
Oh, big time. The kid behind him is going to have a shirt saying, "I'm JJ's friend."
Somebody with a sense of humor could walk around saying, "I would have caught it also."
Yeah.
Inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. JJ's enjoying some peanuts and enjoying a little bit of the limelight as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Miami Marlins. Echeverria gets a 3-run triple in his first at-bat. That was in the top of the first inning. And then his next at-bat in the third, Doc's still in the ball game. He goes the opposite way one more time. And after the umpires reviewed it, they called it a grand slam. So 7 RBIs. There's Jeff Kellogg, who is given the home run signal. And with that, we take a look at our local Honda dealers game summary.
That's the second time as we look at the summary that's happened to the Phillies this year in this ballpark. A 7 RBI game by a guy. You see Echeverria has done it here today with a 7, including a grand slam home run that was reviewed, believe it or not. And the Phillies, well, you know, you have what happened to them early in this game. We talked about it at the time. That's a punch in the gut, and it's hard to come back from that, and they certainly have not today.
Yeah, the big storyline you saw on the bottom, Roy Halladay 2 1/3 before he was lifted from the game, and now Kevin Slowey has been front running since the beginning of this ball game. Slowey's allowed only 2 hits. In fact, the Phillies have just 3 hits in the last 2 games after putting together some pretty good offense the first 2 games against the Marlins.
Well, 9 runs for Slowey. They never score any runs for him. Mike Redmond's his birthday today. So that's a pretty good birthday present for the manager.
Today, yeah. His birthday today, Slowey's birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, it's time now for the Dodge Stuff the Fans trivia quiz answer. All right, Wheels, here's the question one more time. Tino Martinez, he was a fan favorite with the New York Yankees. He obviously took over for, I would assume, a fan favorite. Who was it?
Well, I'm going to say back in those days, the Yankees couldn't quite win for some reason. Couldn't win a pennant. All of a sudden, Tino showed up right after Don Mattingly retired, and they started to win pennants. Had nothing to do one with the other, but just a coincidence.
Well, Don Mattingly is the correct answer. Mattingly and the Yankees went to the postseason the year before he retired, and then Martinez took over. Now we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. John Mayberry will lead it off against Kevin Slowey, who hasn't won since 2010. And Mayberry up for the first time, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1.
They're letting him pitch deep into this game with a lead. And he just pitched his game. He's still throwing all his pitches. He's throwing a lot of fastballs, but still mixing in his off-speed stuff and just controlling a nice lead that he has.
Mayberry fouls it back. Another one into the sweet level.
He took a real beating here a few years ago. One of the shortest outings, if not the shortest outing of his career. He went 1 2/3, 7 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 homers, and they wound up winning that game to Minnesota after he was out of it and he got a no decision.
They checked Mayberry's swing, and Eric Cooper says he didn't go around. Talked about it before with the accident that took place on 95 today. There was a bad one. The umpires got here, I guess, about 50 minutes or so before the start of the ball game. Swing and a miss. Mayberry's down on strikes.
Yeah, it was pretty gridlocked around here with that horrible accident in 95 and the Broad Street run and all that today. It's the reason why the accident not included, of course, but that's why they started the game at 2:35 today, trying to give people a little extra time.
Well, 40,000 registered for the Broad Street run this year. As Delman Young fouls it away, the 34th annual Broad Street run. Talk about something that is certainly a tradition here in this great city. Swing and a miss, 0-2. One ball and 2 strikes the count. You see what Slowey did against the Phillies earlier. 5 1/3, 1 earned run. They had 9 hits that day. Today they have just 2.
Sometimes a guy will get a lead and he'll go out there and he'll struggle with it. I've seen that happen before. This guy today, a veteran pitcher, knew just what to do with a lead, which is surprising because he certainly haven't had many of them lately.
Breaking ball and a foul tip hung on to by Olivo. 7 strikeouts for Slowey. Well, early runs by the opposition can take your breath away. There's no doubt about it. But the Phillies just have not played well today.
Right there, catcher Olivo knew right away. He heard the foul tip. He knew he caught it, and then Kellogg comes up with a sign.
Dominic Brown's 0 for 2. Outside, 1-0. Foul territory, third base side. Polanco running over toward his dugout, makes the catch. And that kind of day for the Phillies. 7 in a row retired by Slowey. We've completed 7 onto the top of the 8th inning, and it's 10-zip Marlins. It's not worth driving. It's not worth building. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Also by Nissan. Nissan Sign and Drive sales event is going on now. Go to choosenissan.com for more information. Now the Fanatic dugout dance going on in between innings. Those folks are guests of StubHub who are down on the dugout with the Fanatic. Of course, StubHub is sponsoring today's great giveaway, the tote bag. The Chase Utley tote bag. Polanco leads it off against Chad Durbin as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Polanco has a hit in 3 official at-bats. He walked back in the first. Late on the fastball, it's 1-1.
It's a good job today by Valdez and Durbin sucking up these innings. Going on a long road trip. And the last thing you needed today was to have to use 3, 4, 5 pitchers. And right now they've only had to use 2 with 6 outs to go. Marlins has some activity out there. They may figure that's fine for Slowey. A.J. Ramos in the bullpen, a right-hander. Somebody just needs some work.
Swing and a miss, and the backswing got Ruiz in the face mask. And a strikeout for Durbin for the first out. Well, we've been talking all day long about the Phillies auction, which is going on right now. It's the fantastic auction. Some of the items that you can bid on. A private bullpen session with Cole Hamels. Also, you can be included in the 2013 Phillies team photo and a game-used autographed Jimmy Rollins 2009 World Series jersey. The fantastic auction benefits Phillies charities. Check it out now at Phillies.com. It's like a star-studded show today on WB Mason behind the pinstripes. Scott Palmer was made the announcement about the auction, which will benefit Phillies charities, as we mentioned. It's an 11-day auction. It begins today, and it will culminate with a little bit of a radiothon the last 2 days. Outside, and it's 1-2.
Be interested to hear what some of those items receive for Phillies charity.
Well, the Phillies each and every year at the AOS event have a live auction, and they always have great items there. And looking at the list of the items that will, that have been put out for auction now and will be, there's going to be more. It's some good stuff. It really is, and all benefiting some great causes as part of Phillies charities. 1-2 the count to Ruggiano. In the air to left center field. That is well hit, and it's not coming back. 11-0 Marlins on top. It was a hanger, and for Ruggiano, it's his 5th home run of the year. There's a changeup that was up.
Yeah, there's a hanging changeup, and it not only was up, but it started coming back into the happy zone, and he hit it out of the ballpark. That guy has some power.
He just said flat. Chad Durbin just mouthed flat as he got a new ball back from the umpire.
Yeah, it was.
Marcell Ozuna continues to have a good series. He has 6 hits in the series. I'm sorry, he has 7 hits in the series because he has 3 today.
Be interested to follow him, see how he progresses. He has an idea of the zone too. He's not just a wild swinger.
He just peeked back to see where Ruiz was.
Well, he shouldn't do that.
I don't know if he did it because of the backswing or what, but he did look back. It's 2-1.
That's how that open stance tries to go into everything. Got a little toe tap at the end. There'll be a lot of scouting going on a young player like this to see what they're seeing, what are the hot zones, where do they think they can pitch him, and he'll adjust.
Outside, 3-2.
Catchers don't like, I never like guy look back and peek to see where the location's going to be. That's never a good idea. Now they don't play the game quite the way they used to, but if guys that did that, they would kind of deke them into thinking where it was going to be, maybe somewhere else, and then they come right back in there, and they would buzz the tower a little bit.
Out toward right center field. That ball is smoked, and it is off the top of the scoreboard. And Ozuna, on his way to second, is there standing.
Now they can have a little teaching moment with him because this kid looks like a good player, but he was Cadillacing that. They're excited about what happened, but he thought that was a home run, and he was just barely coasting into second on a play where he should be a third.
Well, it's 2 doubles now for Ozuna in this ball game.
He hasn't done much wrong, but that's one of those things. Hustle is always one that's easy to do.
Well, Carlos Ruiz out to talk to Chad Durbin. Now watch this ball go out, and it went right through the fans' hands.
And off the screen. It's a good call. The umpires have had a few of those today.
They've had a review too, and they got both right.
Yeah, and that one was another one that they're thinking about, but they don't have to review it because it's okay. They're going to make a double switch right now. It looks like.
Yeah, Charlie Manuel was waiting for Horst to get himself ready. So he's going to bring the lineup card out. And here's Ozuna, what Wheels is talking about.
Yeah, he thinks he has one here. So he's just watching it, taking his time, and now, whoops, I better pick it up a little bit. And he easily gets into second base. But when that ball was hit, he should have had trouble. But you know what? He's got a lot of talent. He hasn't done much wrong, and that's one of those things that a veteran player can go up and say, you know, just remember that.
So Durbin will check out, and Lance Dix is going to come in as part of a double switch along with Jeremy Horst. And we'll be back after this. At the top of the 8th inning with a runner at scoring position. Time now for a Coors Light freeze cam. And the moms around the yard today on Mother's Appreciation Day. Getting a chance to enjoy a day with their family, a day at the ballpark. Bright sunshiny afternoon. All kinds of lids that they're popping out. It's our Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And that young lady has a giveaway from a couple of years ago, the scarf to go along with her tote bag for today. Lance Dix in the game as part of this double switch. So Nix will bat 9th, and Jeremy Horst will bat 5th. And Greg Dobbs is hit by a pitch, and that'll put runners on first and second. No. Horst 0-1, an ERA of 6. 6 strikeouts in 12 innings. And here's Miguel Olivo.
He will really swing hard now after somebody just got hit by a pitch like that.
It's the 3rd batter to get hit today, or 3rd time somebody's been hit. And a foul ball, it's 0-1.
And there he goes. Yeah, the first, you know, the ones that Roy Halladay hit, they know he was wild. Right there, that's one of those ones where in the other dugout they go, I wonder if that's because we're having so much fun swinging today. That's what I would get out of that.
Inside, 1-1. That, and you know, whether Ruiz thought Ozuna was peeking back or if they thought he took time watching that ball to the alley. I mean, watching the replay, he didn't Cadillac, but he definitely didn't run out of the chutes.
No, I think it's more of just comfort, swinging today, scoring runs. Sometimes some pitchers will do that, some won't. All that is to me is a moment, you know, where the other side goes, I wonder.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Olivo.
Sometimes it's really obvious what goes on. That makes sense?
It does. Ground ball toward the left side. Michael Young, nice spinning play. There's one. Franzen throws it away, and a run will score. They had a chance to turn 2. It's now 12-0 in favor of the Marlins. No RBI. The error charged to Franzen to allow the run to score.
Well, and all the stuff that's going on today, that's the first error by the Phillies. Young makes a nice play there. Kevin was under some pressure, and then he just pulled the throw across his body and threw it away.
Inside to Echeverria. It's 1-0. Foul ball, and it's 3-2. So with 2 outs, the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Oliva will be off on this pitch. And he casually takes off as the ball is fouled back. Another one.
This guy's late on everything,
including his 2 extra base hits.
Right, but he's driven the ball to right and right center really well today. So it's hard to figure. I don't know whether you try to crowd him or whether you just keep throwing everything out there away to him. But he's late.
And ball 4. Then I'll put runners on first and second. But again, there are 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Matt Diaz is going to pinch hit for the Marlins. So that's it for Slowey. Slowey goes 7 innings today. Diaz started last night's ball game. He's only been with the Marlins this series. He's 0 for 5 so far. And he shoots it the other way, which he's been known to do, and it's 0-1. Back toward the middle, off Horst, over toward the bag, picked up by Young, out at third. Right place, right time on that one. Jeremy Horst looked like he was nailed by that ball that went right back through the box. It's 12-0 in favor of the Marlins. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and into the bullpen we go. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs. He struck out 7 today, Wheels, and he worked quickly, and he was able to front run because he had a 5-run lead.
5-run lead right out of the chute. Tom used all his pitches, did a good job, and you know that was a disheartening offensive performance coming out there after what happened early in this game. Never an excuse, but it just does happen that way. And he pitched well. They're down by 9 runs, and there are a lot of not real disciplined at bats.
Jose Fernandez comes over to congratulate Slowey. Fernandez last night was the star on the mound for the Marlins. Today it's Slowey. Those two guys combined to allow just 3 hits from the Phillies in today's game. So A.J. Ramos will take over. Carlos Ruiz leads it off in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch is inside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Ramos this year, 13 games, a 3.38 ERA. It'll be Ruiz, then Revere, and Nix. And it's 1-1. Time is called. Breaking ball outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Remember Kevin Slowey, we mentioned his last win was back in September of 2010. It's a guy who's won 39 big league games, is 8 games over 500, but hasn't won since 2010.
And been in many situations where they didn't score many runs for him either, and certainly got him plenty of runs here today.
Ball 4, so Ruiz is aboard.
Well, it's time now for Hyundai defensive play of the game. Justin Ruggiano's had a good series here. Guy supplies some power for them, playing center field. Makes a nice run for this ball, slicing away from him off the bat of a left-handed hitter. And he times it perfectly, dives, makes the play. Really a nice effort out there to help preserve this shutout right now. That's our Hyundai defensive play of the game.
Ruggiano's also gotten that solo home run. Revere is up. Takes a strike. It's 0-1. Cliff Lee will start tomorrow. Jonathan Pettibone will get Wednesday's start. That ball got a piece of Olivo.
Giants have won 2 games of walk-offs the last 2 games against the Dodgers on homers. And they have a late game tonight. Late afternoon out there.
It's been a long day when we're in the 8th inning, and Revere, although he's the 8th hitter, has only been up now 3 times. Fouled that one off.
And there's a 12 spot up there.
Yep. Olivo played that foul ball as if it was 20 feet fair.
He was going to make a play on it. He finally had to throw in the dugout.
I think if it was cricket, it would have been in play.
Is that right?
I think. I'm just guessing.
I'll follow you on that one.
First base line took a bad hop on Dobbs, picks it up, throws not in time. Ruiz on his way to third. Ramos's throw goes right on by Polanco. Cue the music. Ruiz will score. Revere goes to second. The Phillies are on the board.
Ooh. That looked like Little League. Just keep running. Yeah, there was some throwing around right there. There'll be one error on the play. That's a base hit to start because that was a tough play for Greg Dobbs at first with the guy who can really run, but then there's a throwing error. Well, let's see how it unfolds here. There it is right there. That bounces off, and that should be a hit. And now a good job by Carlos Ruiz to take the extra base, and then Ramos, he throws one that Polanco has no shot on. The only thing going to catch this is a tarp down there. Carlos will score, and as Tom said, the Phillies are on the board in this frustrating afternoon.
It's been 2 days since they scored, so they are on the board. Here's Lance Nix up with a runner at second. Phillies now with 3 hits today. And Nix fouls it away, 0-1. Up the first base line. That's a fair ball. Ramos throws him out over to third. Goes Revere. Let's check in with Murph. Murph, what do you got, buddy?
All right, guys. Well, you're just talking about the Phils after this game, obviously hopping on a plane, heading out to the West Coast to play those San Francisco Giants. Take a look at the pitching matchups on Monday. You get 2 lefties. Cliff Lee will be on the hill for the Phils, as you mentioned, Tom, against Madison Bumgarner. Then it'll be Kendrick and Lincecum on Tuesday, and then Jonathan Pettibone and Barry Zito will meet up in that afternoon game on Wednesday. And the one thing that you can draw from this, you have Madison Bumgarner 3-0, Lincecum 2-1, and Zito 3-1 on the season. So the starting pitching has been very good for the San Francisco Giants so far.
Yeah, the surprise has been Kane. Kane has struggled out of the chute for the Giants.
And he started really strong. He had a couple of great outings and then started to get hit around. They always have good pitching out there. It's a big, big ballpark. They pitch and play defense, and they've won a couple of World Series in the last few years. That's one of the reasons why.
Yep, that's it. They've done it because of pitching. 0-1 the count to Galvis. Now, Jonathan Pettibone starts on Sunday. I asked Jonathan if his family was going to get to San Francisco to see him play again. He said, yes, they are. I also asked him what he's going to work on when it comes to his side sessions, and he said the cutter. So just trying to get that to be the cutter slider, trying to get that to be those 2 pitches to be a little more effective. But he should be. He's pretty happy with the way he's thrown to start his big league career. Swing and a miss, 1-2 the count. Over to the right side. That'll get a run home. An RBI for Galvis. Two outs here in the 8th. And it's a 12-2 ball game.
I think Bowman will get an inning.
Young checks his swing. The pitch was up high. They're going to ask Eric Cooper if he thought he went, but Eric doesn't realize they're asking him.
No.
Oh, there we go. He said safe, and then he said yes.
Oh, man.
He was talking to Greg Dobbs the entire time.
That's one of those ones where you ought to just
get your head in the game.
Well, yeah, he's not watching. Now, did he go? It's close. He could have. But Kellogg kept asking him.
Toyota Major League Scoreboard, the Braves have defeated the Mets 9-4. Freddie Freeman 3 for 5, a home run, a double. Tim Hudson, the victory there. Now the 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Also a final out in Pittsburgh. Wilson Ramos 3 hits, including a double. Nationals defeated the Pirates 6-2. 1-2 pitch coming to Young, and it's 2-2. Young flips it out to right field. Ozuna's there. He coasts under it. Side is retired. The Phillies do get a couple runs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. They've been held scoreless since Friday night. They scored 2 to make it a 12-2 ball game as we go to the 9th. Sox. Both games are at 7:05. On the Wednesday game, all fans 14 and under will receive the W.B. Mason collectible Phillies truck. Again, that's free to all fans. If you've gotten them over the years, this one's a little different. It's a tractor trailer. Kind of add to your collection. Top of the 9th, Juan Pierre leads it off against Jeremy Horst. Pierre 2 for 4. And inside, it's 1-1. I think as the season goes on, the Marlins will think about trading Pierre to a ball club that might be contending if they need somebody to just pick a steal up every once in a while.
Yeah, and he would be the type of player they certainly would, especially if they develop, if they want to keep Ozuna out there, they want to, when Stanton gets back, maybe they want Ozuna to play, and all of a sudden he's not getting any playing time. He might become attractive to a contender. Sure.
That happened last year with the Phillies. They did, he didn't play a lot toward the end because they were playing others. Valleca is a hitter. Valleca is 0 for 4. Hit by a pitch. Scored a run. Hits it foul.
Juan Pierre with all those stolen bases. Of course, you wouldn't even think about running here because your team is winning by 10 runs. So they just play off him down at first base knowing he's not going to go anywhere. Especially a guy like Juan Pierre who knows the game. Doesn't even have to tell him.
Oh, he talked about this road trip, how big it was a couple weeks ago, and it's, it is a big one, figuring that these are two tough teams the Phillies are going to be facing, the Giants and the Diamondbacks. Out toward left center field, Revere gets to the spot, makes the catch. Pierre got to second. He'll have to go back. And one away. The Phillies will finish up this homestand 2-2, this 4-game series. But let's face it, their expectations were at least 3 of 4. It's hard to say you're going to sweep this team or sweep that team, but the objective was to win the series.
Especially when you win the first 2.
Right. Polanco's the batter. He's 1 for 4 today. Takes outside. It's 1-0. John Roush warming up. I don't think Polanco saw that pitch all that well. It was a indecisive kind of swing.
Yeah, it was one of those, he started to swing, wanted to stop, but why do that and hurt yourself?
Line drive caught by Franzen. Yeah, there are 2 outs. Every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, giving you all your favorite sports all year long.
Gianno's had a heck of a game. We just showed him on the defensive play of the game, on that defensive play of the game. And he's also had a heck of a game offensively.
He's got the home run. He's been hit by 2 pitches that he's walked. And he has scored 3 runs.
Here's his home run in the 8th inning. Look, it may have been a high changeup or a high breaking ball of some kind, and he deposited into the seats in deep left center field.
See it, 3 runs scored. 3 runs scored give him 16 on the year. And he's taken the lead on the Marlins in that category. Outside, 3-1. That ball's hit well to left field. He's going to have his 2nd home run of the day. And it's now 14-2. Man. The Marlins can go a week without scoring 14 runs.
Man, that was a high hit me fastball. May not even been a strike, and he nailed it. He does have some pop, and no doubt about that.
He had been 5 for his last 35 against the Phillies coming into this ballgame with 1 home run. And he has 2 home runs in today's game.
See what this pitch is. No, I wanted to strike. Didn't matter. Look at him get on top of that. That's impressive.
Ozuna's 4 for 4. His average is up to 500.
A big day, went up 111 points.
He's 11 for 22 to begin his big league career.
Thinks this is easy.
Compared to Willie Mays, it is.
Oh, yeah, Willie had a tough start. His career started in Connie Mack Stadium, I think.
0-2 the count to Ozuna. And he fouls it back to the screen.
Part of the tough start he had, that Willie had, was at Connie Mack. Well, he's been up 6 times a day. He's been on base 5 times. He's been on base 5 times. Next to walk in there.
The other part of it, too, is that 5 of his 11 hits are extra base hits, 4 doubles and a home run.
Well, he drives the ball.
On the outside corner. They ring him up. That'll do it for the top of the 9th inning. 2 more runs score and a home run by Ruggiano. Ozuna and the Marlins will play defense one more time with the Phillies down by 12.
Hey, he doesn't consider himself a legend.
Stick around for the most complete analysis of this game and a look back at all of today's highlights. That's next on the Phillies postgame show, live from Sugar House Casino. John Roush will take over as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The damage for the Marlins, most of which was done in the first 3 innings against Doc. Kevin Slowey pitched the first 7 for the Marlins, and then A.J. Ramos. Now Roush, 10 games, 1-2, an ERA of 7.30. So he's on 14 strikeouts, 12 1/3. He'll face Kevin Franzen, John Mayberry. Those are the first 2 hitters. Jimmy Rollins has got a helmet on and a bat in his hands. He's up at the top of the stairs. Roush delivers low, 1-0. There's J-Roll. Franzen hits it right on the nose, but right at the shortstop. That's Echeverria. And then there's one away here in the 9th. Probably a chance that Franzen get a chance to play in San Francisco with a couple lefties in the day game on Wednesday. And Roush now will deal to John Mayberry Jr. He's 0 for 1. He struck out his last time up. 1 the count to Mayberry. Ground ball to third. Polanco stays down on it. 2 outs. Well, in the games the Phillies and the Marlins have played this year, there hasn't been a whole lot of offense. The Phillies have pretty much handled the Marlins up until these last 2 games. Charlie Manuel, I think, has had stops and starts with his club this year. Certain stretches where he's thinking, all right, they're starting to get out of it now. They're feeling pretty good. And there's other stretches like these last 2 games where you just sit there and you scratch your head.
You have 6 hours in an airplane to think about this one today.
Rollins lines the first pitch from Roush into center for a base hit. A pinch hit single. And here comes Dominic Brown. Well, whatever the Phillies do become here in 2013, they have to figure out the consistency on each facet of the game, because they just haven't had it the first part of the season. Now, there aren't a lot of teams so far that have had that consistency. Some have been surprises. Others, like the Angels and the Blue Jays and the Phillies, have not, that people expected would have a little bit of it.
Well, teams are talking about the Marlins being so horrible, this, that, and the other thing. The Phillies have 18 losses now. They have 22.
Right. 2-0 the count to Brown, with Rollins at second now. He went to second on defensive indifference. Brown fouls it back above our heads and out of play. It's 2-1. Dominic Brown hits it right back to the mound, and Roush throws to first, and that'll do it. 2 very disappointing ways and days to finish up this homestand against the Marlins. They thumped the Phils today by a final 14-2. Ruggiano hit 2 home runs. Ozuna had just an incredible series, and Echeverria 7 RBIs into this ball game in his first 2 at bats. 2 for 4 with a triple, a grand slam, and 7 RBIs.
That's a month's worth of RBIs for some guys right there. They started right out in the first inning. Looked like maybe Roy Halladay could get out of this with just 2 bases loaded, a 2-2 count. Looked like a cut fastball out over the plate, shot it right through the gap into right center field, cleared the bases, made it 5-0. And at that point, you're thinking this could be a long day. And right here, he makes it a long day with another pitch stand down the middle of the plate, hit it out for a grand slam home run. They did review it, but you see it hit that seat, then hit the concrete, and then flipped over the wall. And Jeff Kellogg comes out and says, yeah, you have 7 RBIs a day, and it's 9-0 at that point. Those are W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
So the Phillies lose 14-2. That's the final score this afternoon. We'll be back to talk a little bit more about it right after this.